Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Gaming, so you may on Twitter the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Changeling Tale, Grace's Path. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Please sit back and enjoy for the next 16 minutes to entertain you. Let's jump right in. Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go.
You seem very sleep-deprived of late. Is that from gallivanting all hours of the evening with your favorite girl?
She looks mildly jealous. You're still my favorite girl, Gran.
Oh, the lies my grandson tells.
Fine, more lies. You know the chores aren't getting done around the farm. It's hard to balance work with pleasure. Pleasure is an awfully large umbrella for the roller coaster Grace has put me through since I returned home, but I've no regrets. I've been under other people's commands for so long that this freedom I have has been too hard to say no to. I'm sorry, Gran, truly. Tears form at the corners of her eyes.
I respect that, Malcolm. When your father asked you to return home, I only hoped you would oblige. I never expected such a blessing.
I'll always come home to you, Gran.
The fact of the matter is, you should go home to the woman you love. I won't push the subject, but when you're ready, when Grace is ready, when you have a home of your own.
My heart fills with joy, and the relief of getting my secret off my chest. Well, one secret at least. Thank you, Gran. I can't tell you how much it means to me.
And please bring Grace by the house soon. I want to give her a big hug.
I'll see what I can do. A big hug indeed. Grace would have a hard time just squeezing through our door. I picture Grace flopping around inside her tiny home, knocking over silverware and ceramic plates, leaving scatterings of dried scales on the furniture. Gran would just love that. No, Grace is not cut out to be a housewife. As I scrape the bottom of my bowl, I reflect on Gran's domestic dream. A dream I might have shared were it not now out of reach. No matter, Grace and I are in love, and we will forge a new dream. It may not be traditional, but it will be just as stable and full of devotion. I sit back, feeling full and satisfied. Yes, a new and beautiful dream. Well, no matter how hard I try, I simply can't picture. Oh, okay. What do we got? Hear the dog howling in the background. My muscles ache as I stack another fieldstone atop the dilapidated paddock wall. At this rate, it'll take me all I'm reading the wrong one. At this rate, it'll take me all afternoon to finish the section. Behind me comes the sound of a rock tumbling over. All afternoon and all evening, then. Hazel watching from her own paddock. It's a weird word. Sometimes I think you like watching me suffer. True to my word, Gran, I've been catching up on chores and projects all day. Whoever said one could find contentment through simple manual labor obviously never worked a hard day in his life. Now, if Grace were here, her strength would make short work of this chore. But even if she could hike all the way up on here on her big flippers, I'm sure there are things she'd rather be doing. I wipe the sweat from my brow and look toward the loch. There are other things I'd rather be doing too. Even another of Grace's wild adventures sounds more fun than this. Excuse me, y'all. A flash of light catches my eye, coming from our cove. Something is catching the sunlight, piquing my curiosity. Is someone there? Hazel, do you see that? My horses stare at me blankly. As I remind myself, horses who don't understand English are apt to do. Yes, right. You hang tight, love. I'm going to investigate. And when I come back, I'll give you some fresh oats. Don't you make a girl a promise you can't keep? Oh, that's the shiny thing you noticed. As I draw near the beach, I see the source of the shimmer. A glass object sitting atop of a tower of rocks, fashioned like a crude lighthouse. Oh, that thing. Okay. Oh, that was her. I thought the light was literally reflecting off of her. Lounging at its base is Grace, reading a book. She looks up when I approach.
There you are. I was wondering if you were ever going to show up.
I'm sorry I'm late. There were some chores around the farm that I couldn't put off any longer. I put on my most convincing face, as if fixing a decades-old crumbled wall were really all that pressing.
Finally galvanized by your Gran.
More like guilted. I deflate, embarrassed. There's no sneaking anything past Grace.
It's all right. Your Gran's so sweet. You're sweet as molasses. You do whatever she needs you to do, and when you're done, you can use this.
She gestures to the pile of stones topped by an old mirrored vase, chipped and cracked, part of her collection of lost treasures. What is this, a lighthouse?
It's a beacon. It's something we can signal to each other when we're ready to meet. That way I don't have to sit out here dehydrating while you finish your errands.
She winks to let me know she jokes, but I still feel guilty about it. No, we wouldn't want that. That's pretty clever. I can see it clearly from my fields.
Perfect. I'll tuck the vase here under the rocks. Whenever you're here to visit, just place it on top and I'll come swimming fast as I can.
And vice versa.
Just so. The idea came to me when I was reading about how sailors communicate on the high seas.
Ah, the Mariner's Almanac. She picks up the very soggy book she was perusing when I arrived and frowns.
You think books for mariners would be a bit more waterproof?
Goodness, where'd you find that?
In the ship's library at the bottom of the sea.
Can't help but laugh. Guess there'll be no overdue fines if we don't return it. She tosses the book my way and I catch it with a squelch.
It's all yours. I've already read the book from cover to cover. It's even duller than Miss Alana's history lessons. But you may find the section on ship repair handy.
Ah, so it'll be expert shipwrights now.
It's cheaper than putting this old hulk in dry dock. Unless you've struck it rich and not told me.
My ship hasn't come in yet, no. The joke doesn't quite land the way I hope. Instead of laughing, Grace seems to be pondering something. What is it?
Malcolm Campbell, I do believe you planted the seed of an idea.
Oh no. Not sure how many more of Grace's grand schemes I can take. My goodness, aren't you full of ideas today?
You can't contain genius, Malcolm. Oh, I bet when I transformed my brain grew too.
Undoubtedly. Before Grace can elaborate, to my relief, we're interrupted by a sound carrying up the coast. A child's voice. Singing. Oh, I wonder which child it is. Grace and I lower our voices and look at each other. We have a visitor. Grace shrugs her enormous shoulders. I motion for her to stay here, and she motions at her feet, reminding me that those flippers make it difficult to walk anywhere. Oh, is it gonna be that cute little girl? Is it gonna be that cute little girl? Yep, it's her! Peeking around the corner of the cove, I see young Flory Fairfowl. She's all alone, guiding a paper sailboat down the water's edge.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Oh my god.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Grace, what are you doing? She's just a wee bairn. Flory's head tilts up, until she just about falls backwards. I worry the small child would be terrorized by Grace's imposing form, or worse, scarred for life. I'll explain this to her mother.
Hello, I'm Flory. Are you the fish queen? I'm not a fish, but yes, dear Flory. You may address me as your highness.
Flory looks more confused and terrified. Let out a sigh of relief.
Not fish?
No, Flory. Grace is just like you and me. I'm gonna drink my thing. Strawberry mango carbonated water. Not bad. I hope my oversimplified explanation sticks despite drastic evidence to the contrary.
Nuh-uh. Looks like fish. Smells like fish. Fish.
Apparently Flory's decision is final.
Why are you at a wawa? Wawa? Oh, water. It's because I'm playing with my friend. That's silly. Fish don't belong at a wawa.
Oh. Grace laughs and wades into the gentle waves.
You're right, Flory. There, the wawa is much better.
Flory beams, melting my heart. Then Miss Flory, what are you doing so far away from home? I look again to confirm no one else is around. Flory points to her paper sailboat.
Sailing toward the lighthouse. The lighthouse? Oh dear.
Grace's beacon might have been a little too effective. Lighthouses signal danger, Flory. You should only sail in safe waters near your home. Let's get you back to your mother. Let's get you back. Your mother must be worried sick.
But Mr. Fish Friend, I want to be a fish too.
Grace and I exchange a look, barely able to contain her laughter. I'm sorry, Flory, but you can't be a fish.
Why? Because you don't have gills like me. Why? Because you weren't born to live in the ocean. Why? Because it's not what you were meant to be. Why?
Oh my, I can see where this is going. Take a deep breath. Because no two individuals are born the same. While that doesn't make them any better or worse, it means diversity is the one thing we all have in common, which makes the world a more exciting place and is something I think is truly worth celebrating, don't you?
I want to go home.
Ah, no. Well planned, Malcolm. Well planned.
Just as...
Just as planned.
I'll get you home, Flory, just like a fish would. How about it? Would you like that?
I beg your pardon. This was not part of the plan, and Flory is already jumping up and down.
Like a fish, like a fish! Don't worry, Malcolm. We'll both be fine. It'll be a ride she'll never forget.
Grace's tail curls around to Flory, whose eyes light up with wonder.
All right, wee Miss Flory, climb aboard.
Aw. In an instant, the precocious child clambers up. Forgetting my voice. God, I'm so out of it right now. In an instant, the precocious child clambers up and wraps her arms around her fish queen.
Comfy? Uh-huh.
Is this really safe?
Of course. I'll be back in a jiff. Hold on tight, Flory.
Zoom! And with a splash, the two speed off toward town, leaving me dumbfounded and alone. I'm not entirely certain what just happened, but at last certain of one thing. Flory's having the ride of her life. My fingers idly flit through the maritime book's stamped pages, their mystifying diagrams and passages left unread. It's all gibberish to me anyway, just something for my hands to do while my mind wanders, waiting for Grace to return. Or rather my fish queen. Bless Flory and her imagination, it's too precious a pet name to get passed up. Imagine Grace holding court underseas, schools of fish lined up to catch a glimpse of their most esteemed monarch. Perhaps that's her destiny. She already wears a crown of horns after all. For all I know, Poseidon could be waiting for Grace to take her rightful place by his side. If so, I doubt I'd have much of a chance competing for her hand, or rather Finn. Is that why I don't want Grace leaving the loch? Not out of duty to our families at home, but because of jealousy. My stomach turns at the sudden thought. Before Grace's most recent changes. No, Legion just felt irresponsible, perhaps even selfish, but now... 1 second, y'all. One for the ride. I can't help but imagine that the bigger Grace grows, the farther from land, from me she'll be pulled away. Maybe I'm the selfish one now. What if instead of Grace as it were me, it were my magical dream coming true? Don't know if I even have one. Inherit millions of pounds. Become a steel baron. Have all my worldly fears be instantly taken away. I'm too realistic for any of that. I long for peace and contentment. Others may think me simple, but I've seen enough out there to know that simplicity is the easiest thing in which to find pleasure. So Grace's dream is to enjoy that simplicity in the ocean. Why should I stop her?
I'm back! Oh, Malcolm, Flory wore the grandest smile the whole time.
Grace's reappearance offshore startles me out of my funk. You're the finest fairy in all the loch, Finley. Ooh, excuse me. So did Flory find her mom?
Aye, I hid behind the pier long enough to see her wander off and find Miss Fairfowl. Mother seemed none too happy about the soaked clothes. I've never seen Flory happier, though.
Her expression changes from one of embarrassment to concern.
What's wrong?
It's nothing. I guess I was just feeling a little lonely is all. I know you were gone for all of half an hour. I'm hopeless.
You are hopeless. Malcolm Campbell, a hopeless romantic. Come on, I know just what'll cheer you up.
I'll get some girl like Nessie girlfriend Teddy. I had my hands along my comfortably dry clothes. Somehow I doubt they'll stay dry for long. What did you have in mind?
Why not let me give you a ride too?
Is this some sort of innuendo? No, she seems to mean it. Grace, your last passenger was half my size. I don't want to hurt your back.
Hey, I'm no pipsqueak anymore. Don't worry, I can carry you just fine. Flory loved it, and so did I. It's lots of fun.
Yes. Well, Flory did look like she had a blast.
You will too. Hop on.
Nope. She offers me her hand. All right. I hope I don't regret this. After I take off my shoes and roll up my pants legs, she pulls me onto her back where I'm straddling her tail.
How's my butt for a saddle?
Well, it's nothing like riding a horse, that's for sure. Position is odd, but not uncomfortable. I feel secure enough in the nook created by the junction of the base of her tail and the small of her back.
Too bad for Hazel, because you'll never settle for a mere horse ride again after this. Ready?
I wrapped my arms around tightly around her slick abdomen and hoped for the best, as I'll ever be.
Let's go!
Sploosh! Oh my. Ha! Grace is off like a bolt. My body whips forward and I find myself gripping onto her like my life depends on it. He looks so goofy. Grace, whoa! Every time I open my mouth, a spray of icy water splashes into it. Either the churning loch is too loud or she chooses not to hear my pleas to slow down. Each kick of her powerful flippers, every sway of her muscular tail propels us further down the loch. I can feel her every movement. She skims across the surface like an Olympic swimmer crossed with a dolphin. It's no fluke that I haven't been thrown from my mount. Grace's tail fin presses me firmly against her back, keeping me safely in the saddle. Gradually my fears are replaced by excitement. The salt spray licks at my face and I begin to laugh, caught up in the thrill. Wahoo!
Woohoo!
Between strokes, she turns around and grins, and I realize she's right. Even the fastest horse race doesn't compare to this. We win the motorboat tournaments in Inverness Harbor for certain, if not for being disqualified for having no motor. Alright, I'm gonna pause it right there. I am done for the evening. Oh my god, I'm out of it. Anyway, y'all, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. If a super thanks or tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!